If you're a fan of the film Knives Out, make sure you check the comment section down below. I'm giving out a free digital code. I need 12 participants for this contest. I already have 2, so I need 10 more. So check the comment section down below. I'm leaving a comment, and you can comment on there as well if you want a free digital copy of the film Knives Out. But with all that in mind, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about the chances of why Spyglass Media might not tell us anything regarding Scream 5 until it actually starts production. And we're going to get into this one scene in particular in Scream 4 that is a very definitive hint, and one of the reasons why a lot of us are still holding on to the fact that Kirby Reed could be alive. I want to get into this stuff going on with Spyglass Media and how we know everything's being very tight-lipped when it comes to everything regarding Scream 5. Spyglass Media and Radio Silence, of course, are working on bringing us a new Scream project. They got the directors from Ready or Not, Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillett, on board to direct and take up the helm from Wes Craven. Hopefully they can live up to expectations, because I know a lot of people have them. We have Kevin Williamson, who's on board to executive produce, so we have a good chance of this being a solid movie, with him already praising the screenplay that they have, saying that it honors Wes's legacy, and it's a good script, pretty much. That Wes Craven's words, not Wes Craven's words, but Kevin Williamson's words in regards to what he had to say about the script in a recent public press statement that was made a few weeks ago. And then also we know David Arquette is on board to reprise his role as Dewey Riley. We're still waiting to get official confirmation on what exactly the story progression will be, what type of sequel it will be, if it's going to be ignoring any sequels, if it is going to be a direct sequel to Scream 4, or if it'll be like a loose sequel, kind of how Scream 4 was a loose sequel to Scream 3, something like that. But getting into what I want to talk about first off the bat, Spyglass Media might be, there's several different things going on. Of course, we know about the outbreak in the country, so that's one reason they don't want to give away too many juicy details up front. But with all of us knowing that the film was supposed to start production in this month actually, in the month of May that we're currently in North Carolina, we pretty much are left to assume that they already had a cast ready to go. They already had a whole lot of people ready to go who were already on board with the project. A lot of us already have a few speculation on who these people are that are involved in the cast. First of all, back in December and back in around Halloween time, we started seeing old cast members post things about Scream and Scream 4. Courteney Cox posted something like the day before or the day of Halloween with Ghostface showing up in the background of an Instagram video or some type of video she did where Ghostface popped up and Michael Jackson's Thriller started playing. So I know a lot of us already kind of have a speculation that Courteney Cox is also going to be joining David Arquette. We know Neve Campbell's in talks to return. They've been negotiating. Nothing has been officially confirmed as far as we know. That of course could not be the case. That might very well not be the case, and everything has been officially set, and this is just something they're trying to drag on until official announcement comes when the film starts production. So a lot of us are expecting, of course, David Arquette to be joined by his 2 leading ladies, Courteney Cox and Neve Campbell, to reprise their roles. Of course, is Sidney Prescott, who was the heart and soul of the franchise, and then Courteney Cox reprising Gale Weathers. And then also in December, we got Kirby Reed, Hayden Panettiere, posting something on Twitter, rocking the Kirby haircut from Scream 4, saying she was giving like a throwback to Kirby, channeling her inner Kirby with a hashtag Scream 4. And then all of a sudden, keep in mind, back in November, that's when I think we actually got our official, October or November, somewhere around that time, late last year, that's when we got the official announcement that Spyglass Media was moving forward with a new Scream project. And then all of these new things started coming out. Old cast members started saying things. And then, of course, earlier this year, we got more confirmation and more news that the film was actually going to start production in this month in the state of North Carolina. But we didn't find out who was in the cast. Nothing. It was just going to start filming, and we quite possibly were not going to know anything until it started filming. Keep in mind, Scream 2 script leaked online back in the late 90s when Scream 2 was a thing. Originally, that script had 4 different killers. Of course, it got rewritten. We had the 2 killers that we had in Scream 2. So that's possibly one of the reasons, and that's a very strong reason. Scream 3, I believe tidbits of that script got leaked online, so they changed that script around. And then also, of course, with the outbreak going on, they're trying to keep everything very secretive and prevent, of course, the leaks. Because if leaks came out back when the internet was in infancy, in its infant stage, imagine what the leaks could be with a new Scream movie in today's internet. Today's internet is just up and running, so that's possibly another thing that might be going on. If I'm not mistaken, Scream 4 was kind of very similar. Things were very kept under wraps, not necessarily in this type of manner where we didn't even know who the cast was at this point, but everything was still just kind of very secrecy on the down low. Another thing that might be contributing to this is the fact that they still don't yet know what exactly is going to happen if Neve Campbell does or does not return. Maybe they have multiple different scripts ready to shoot, regardless if she comes back or not. Maybe they have a few different scripts that focus on a few different characters that are potentially in talks to return, and they're just waiting to see if these people will even be on board to reprise these roles. In specific, of course, Neve Campbell possibly being one of the people that's a main character in one of these versions of the script. There's possibly very different versions of Scream 5 that these two have ready to go. And they're just waiting to see what's going to happen in regards to Neve Campbell actually being on board or not. Assuming she actually isn't officially on board, I think she is, and it's just a running gag until we get production slated to start later this fall, and then we'll get an official announcement. So they're possibly trying to prevent leaks. Also, of course, trying to hold off until this outbreak is settled. They don't want to build up too much hype and then have say, oh, we're not shooting this movie in the fall anymore. And then, of course, we find out all this stuff, all these juicy details, and now we're going to be left wanting more. For right now, all we care about is just whether or not the movie will actually get to shoot this fall. I'm really positive that it will. Getting into something else regarding why they might not be sharing anything. Again, like I had mentioned, the leaks. And then going back to those leaks, those specific leaks led to a lot of things being shifted around, a lot of last minute decisions. They're trying to prevent all of that. They don't want to have that instance come up on set where you have a movie that's getting ready to go into a production, and then, oh, hey, the script's leaked online, and then everyone's sharing it around, and everyone is basically got their hands on it. If the script leaked and it was for a project that was dead on arrival, then no, but this is a movie that's getting ready to go into production, so they're trying to protect that. And on top of that, getting into this scene that I wanted to talk about with Kirby. If you go back and look at Scream 4 at the very end, she is clearly stabbed when Charlie gets out of that chair. Charlie says this is making a move. He stabs her, and then he pulls a knife out and he says, 4 years of classes and you notice me now. And then he says, you stupid. Of course, you know the next word. I'm not going to say it for monetization purposes. And then he says it's too late. Then he stabs her again, pulls the knife out, leaves her to bleed out. Last thing we see is Kirby moving. If you listen to the Scream 4 commentary with Wes Craven's commentary turned on, if you have Scream 4 owned on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever you have it on, Wes Craven and Hayden Panettiere are present, specifically stating that you need to pay attention to the fact that Kirby is still moving, hinting at the fact that she was still moving for a reason. On top of that, Kirby's survival was written into the script. They just did not shoot it. They specifically removed it to leave her fate up in the air to tease audiences. Rumors going around town back in the early 2010s was that Hayden Panettiere did in fact sign on to reprise her role in a Scream 5. She was going to come back anyway. And then, of course, adding on to that kind of these things are kind of, these rumors are only fueled by the fact that Kevin Williamson recently said that Scream 4 was going to take us back to a college setting. But there's a specific scene at the very end of Scream 4 when they go back into the house after Charlie has stabbed Sidney. When Sidney is in the house with the two Ghostface killers and Kirby is still outside. She is upstairs in the house with Charlie and Jill right before Jill reveals herself. Sidney tries to make her way back down to the basement. Go back and look at this scene. She tries to make her way back down to the basement, and while she's doing that, she ends up getting grabbed by Charlie, of course. But if you listen, when she goes down into the basement, she hears a noise. Listen very carefully when you're looking at that scene. You can hear somebody opening that door, the basement door where Kirby was at, and coming back inside of Kirby's house. And then the door is basically just shutting behind them. The only thing Sidney says is Kirby, with like a question mark, of course. Is that you, Kirby? And then that's when Charlie grabs her. If Charlie, Jill, and Sidney were both upstairs, who was that coming back inside the house? Go back and watch that scene. Somebody is coming back into the house. Now, of course, Kirby could have came back in and she could have bled out. But that scene in specific is one of the main reasons someone like myself and other people who paid attention to Scream 4, and we know that the fate of Kirby and Hayden Panettiere's basic return in Scream 5 are just being toyed with and messed around with, rather than just us finding out 100% as it was written in the film that she lived. That's all that is. They're basically just toying with the fans, because she was going to come back. I'm a firm believer that she was going to come back. I hope she does. Go back and look at that scene. That's a firm indicator that she survived. She came back inside her house. Who knows what she did once she got in? Maybe of course she did die. They could always change things in Scream 5 to find out Kirby did die. But that's enough to at least tell me that she was still alive and well after Charlie stabbed her, because she came back inside her house. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. In the description, I have links on my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you would like me to cover in the future. With all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.